Thank you very much. Welcome back to the show. Ian Anderson from, of course, Jethro Tull is here. Leo DeRocher will be joining us. I think Leo was with Jethro Tull for a while, wasn't he? Now, is this a dumb question? What is the name Jethro Tull? Does everybody know what the origin of that but me?
Well, I don't know if they do. Some of them probably heard a lot of times. It stems from a day when we actually began playing in the clubs around London, and we were such a bad group back then that the only way we could get rebooked into the clubs was to pretend to be somebody different. So our agent would give us a new name every week, and we would turn up to some little club somewhere and look down the list of acts appearing on the bill, and whoever we hadn't heard of before, that must be us, right? So in we'd go, introduce ourselves, and they go, so wait a minute, didn't I have you here last week? No, you mean my brother, you know, that guy now, oh, he's a terrible group, what you didn't have them, did you? Bad luck, you know. And we'd go on and hope to do better than the week before, and of course the time that we actually got rebooked in the famous Marquee Club, they asked us back. We happened to be Jethro Tull that week, that's the one we stuck with. Simple as that. True story.
I mean, where did that name come from? Was it a friend, a relative, out of the phone book, or?
Well, I don't know. It was the agent's job to think of names. He was obviously a history student, as it turns out, because Jethro Tull, the original Jethro Tull, was an 18th century agriculturalist who invented the seed drill, and you're beginning to wish you hadn't asked this question.
Oh, no. He invented
the seed drill, yes.
The seed drill.
Automatically putting little seeds into the ground. It was part of the agricultural revolution of the time. Now you're sure you hadn't wished.
No, this is the kind of thing we thrive on.
Really?
Yeah. Now, one of your albums, Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. Now, is that a personal philosophy? Does that apply to you? I mean, is that any way telling?
Well, I'm sure it will be telling in the final analysis, yes, but it was not autobiographical at the time it was sung. It was an album about the cyclic nature of fashion, the fact that things just move in circles. Somebody who finds themselves out of fashion one year, next year it could be all the rage again, so that was what it was about. How about an old rocker who refused to lie down? Eventually his time came again.
And tell me about the flute. How is it that you picked up the flute, so to speak?
With great relish, as it happens, since I've been singularly successful at doing it, but I was a guitarist and not a very good one, and when we got a guitarist in the band who was a good one, I gave away my guitar, swapped it in for something else of use to me, which was a microphone, and the only thing in the music shop that looked interesting, and, you know, took a flute, just took a chance, and I didn't play for several months because I teach myself, and eventually I got lucky.
Worked out all right.
It certainly did.
Now you also, this goes back a ways to before the band, I guess you quit school, huh?
Yeah.
And any regrets at this point?
Well,
how old were you when you just said that?
I ran away when I was 16. I mean, I was academically the sort of, you know, top end of the class and all the rest of it, so that really doubly displeased my parents and those around me when I ran away. Yeah. But, you know, again, I was a lucky one who made it turn into something good, and you know, I don't regret, obviously, not having done it, but I think I have an obligation to myself to use what endless hours there appear to be sitting in aeroplanes and taxis and limos and hotel rooms to continue to acquire some knowledge about things. Well, even if they're as boring as farming. You know?
No, I think you've done your parents proud, I'm hoping. And you're in this country for the purpose of?
Well, telling people about the record and just generally sort of encouraging the whole sort of Jethro Tull thing between now and coming back to do a tour in the autumn.
Well, good for you. I'm grateful that you spent a few moments with us here tonight.
Well, thanks very much for asking.
Mr. Ian Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the Revolt of the Foolish Molar.